Once again, everyone, Weather for Weather Geeks time here on the 19th day of October 2017, the Thursday evening edition. Another beautiful day today. It wasn't a beautiful newscast for me at 6. If you watched the 6 o'clock news, I had a computer lockup during the middle of my weathercast. Always fun when that happens. We had to kind of improvise and do a quick little recap of the weather at the end after I rebooted my computer. But thankfully, seems I've got that ironed out. So let's get right to it this evening and hope my computer sticks with us through Weather for Weather Geeks this evening. All right, you may have seen this online somewhere of meteor shower peaking tomorrow night. This is the Orionid meteor shower. Named after the constellation Orion, which is generally speaking where the meteors originate from. They originate kind of right through here. Now, that being said, you don't have to look right there to see the meteors. This peaks tomorrow night, but even tonight into tomorrow morning, very early in the morning, well before daybreak, you could probably see a handful of meteors per hour. But during its peak tomorrow night, 10 to 20 meteors per hour, perhaps even up to 30. It's not the biggest, most spectacular meteor shower of the year, but viewing conditions are going to be perfect. Moonless sky and a clear sky, and so good opportunity to head out and check out some meteors. Allow your eyes to adjust a little bit. Find a good dark spot, of course, away from any city lights. The meteors are actually debris from Halley's Comet. Remember that back in the mid-'80s? That was the last time we passed through the path of Halley's Comet, and the debris you're seeing is part of that comet. So again, the peak of this coming up for tomorrow night. All right, another dry day today, and not much has changed on the most recent drought monitor. We're still in a moderate drought in parts of Trumbull and Mahoning counties, but the entire valley is dry. We could use some wet weather. 3 straight dry days. Over the last few days, 5 of the last 7 days have been dry, and we're actually now a little below average for the month through the first 19 days. We were running a surplus for the month with the beneficial rains we had during the first 12 days of the month, but it has gotten a little drier lately, so we've slipped a little below average. We'll continue slipping below average over the next few days, and certainly the lack of rain and the hot weather we had in September and the more, the above average temperatures we've had in October have dulled the foliage and delayed it some. A lot of trees are still pretty green here on the 19th day of October. They've reached peak color in a lot of New England, even a little past peak up in the Adirondacks and up in the Green and White Mountains. Nearer to home, certainly some more vivid colors as you encounter the higher terrain of west central and central Pennsylvania, towards Johnstown, PA, DuBois, Clearfield, Clarion area. The foliage gets more vibrant there, higher elevations, that is to be expected. In Ohio, I have us still in the moderate category. Now there's some patches probably down near Hocking Hills and Athens, and in some places maybe east of Cleveland and some of the higher terrain up in the snow belt. There's probably some technically high color there, but generally speaking, we're still a little behind schedule here. All right, the National Weather Service came out with their winter outlook today. I call it an outlook and not a forecast. The reason for that is it's not really a forecast. It's a probability scheme, really. If you look at their forecast and their maps, this location has a 40% chance of a warmer than average winter, or a 40% chance of a wetter than average winter, or something like that. It's not your location is going to be 2 degrees cooler than average and have 10 inches above average snow. It's not that. That would be a forecast, and that's what we'll do on November 1st on Weather for Weather Geeks, and a shorter version, of course, on the news at 6 and 11, so coming up in a little less than 2 weeks, unless we have a really busy weather night. If we have some sort of big storm system passing through, and I need to cover that, then we'll have to delay it by a day or two. But as it stands right now, we plan on doing this November 1st, and we'll see how our forecast compares to the outlook put out by the National Weather Service. All right, may have a little river valley fog tomorrow morning. Let me back this up to just before daybreak. I don't think this is going to be widespread, but along the Mahoning River, Shenango River, heading down through parts of Lawrence County, there could be some real, isolated pockets of locally dense fog. But it's pretty much, I think, just going to be the river valleys. Otherwise, tomorrow's going to be a great day. Any fog will lift out and give way to sunshine and a beautiful afternoon, beautiful evening for high school football tomorrow. Big game at Stambaugh Stadium, of course, and boy, just perfect. I mean, we've had great weather for high school football this fall with very few exceptions. Kickoff temperature in the lower 60s, mid-50s as the games wrap up around 10:15 tomorrow evening. Weekend forecast looking like this. What a weekend it is going to be. Last Saturday was beautiful, and today will be just about the, or I should say Saturday will be just about the same. Mostly sunny, about 16 degrees warmer than average. Sunday even better. There's going to be some fair weather clouds around. It's not going to be as pristine looking as the last couple of days, but, you know, who's complaining? It's still going to be great. It's going to be very, very much a treat for this time of the year. Changes are ahead, though. Here's a look at the 10 days versus average forecast. Of course, we're 15, 16, even 17 above average for the weekend and even into Monday. But this cold front's going to cross the region Monday night into Tuesday, knocking us much closer to average, and then even a couple of days below average, but not by much. It's not like this is going to be a real abnormally cold snap coming in. It's just going to send us back to reality for a few days. And I think overall the pattern that we'll head into late next week into the weekend will be very typical of late October. It's going to be chilly. It's not going to be crazy cold or anything like that, but it is going to be seasonably chilly. That means a lot of highs in the 50s. That sounds pretty cold, but, you know, that's actually, you know, typical for this time of the year. All right, what about the longer range? Hot off the presses this evening. We get these every Monday and Thursday. It's the European model long-range outlook here. This is for the next month, or 32 days, actually. Temperature anomalies. Blue, of course, would be cool. Orange, warm. And it has a pretty warm look for a lot of the Northeast, the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, with cooler than average conditions overall when you look at the 32 days as a whole, in parts of the Mississippi Valley and out into the Pacific Northwest. So I think November is going to be kind of a back-and-forth month. I think there's going to be some cold shots in November. But my suspicion is that it'll come out in the wash probably as another warmer than average month. Probably not as abnormally warm as September and October, but I don't see much data out there to suggest it'll be a colder than average month of November. All right, that is it for Weather Geeks tonight, and that's actually it for Weather Geeks for a week. No Friday editions during football season. I'm actually off next week, Monday through Wednesday. So you'll have to do without this geeky video until next Thursday, the 26th. So if you have a good rest of your Thursday night, check out my updated forecast tonight on 21 News at 11.